This Morning is a British daytime television programme that is broadcast on ITV. The show airs live on weekdays from 10:30 a.m. until 12:30 p.m. featuring news, topical items, showbiz, style and beauty, home and garden, food, health, real life and more similar features. This Morning is currently presented by Phillip Schofield, Holly Willoughby, Ruth Langsford and Eamonn Holmes, and has aired on ITV since 1988, making it one of the longest-running daytime programmes on British television. Presenters. This Morning is currently hosted by Phillip Schofield and Holly Willoughby from Monday to Thursday, and Ruth Langsford and Eamonn Holmes on Fridays. During school holidays, Langsford and Holmes present between Monday and Thursday, with Rochelle Humes and Marvin Humes on Friday mornings. Regular This Morning stand-in presenters include Christine Bleakley, Gokwan and Ben Shepherd. From October 1988 to July 2001, This Morning was presented by husband and wife Richard Madeley and Judy Finnegan. However, from 1998 onwards, they hosted only the Monday to Thursday editions, with regular guest presenters hosting on Fridays. During the 10th series Karen Keating and Ross Kelly presided, and from Series 11 in 1999 Fern Britton and John Leslie were regular presenters of the Friday show. When Madeley and Finnegan departed the show in 2001, they were replaced by Colleen Nolan and Twiggy, with Britton and Leslie remaining on Fridays. However, when Nolan and Twiggy proved less popular with viewers, meaning Britton and Leslie took on the full job of presenting the show and brought the ratings back up to around 1 million. In 2002, after certain allegations were made in the press about his private life, Leslie was dismissed from the programme. Leslie was replaced by Phillip Schofield in 2002, developing an on-screen relationship with Fern Britton that was characterised by good humour and giggling. Lorraine Kelly joined the team in 2003, to co-present with Phillip Schofield on Mondays and Fridays. This was to enable Britton to spend more time with her family, as she hosted 3 episodes per week. Kelly left This Morning in March 2006 to concentrate on her GMTV programme, as well as to spend more time at home. Schofield and Britton presented the show from Monday to Thursday, whilst Ruth Langsford presented the show on Fridays with Schofield. Joined by Eamonn Holmes in 2006, Langsford also presented the show during school holidays, and since September 2008, the real-life couple host the show each Friday. However, this wasn't the first time the couple had presenting the show, having presented a special edition in 2002 to coincide with the Queen's Golden Jubilee. In March 2009, Britton announced that she was to leave This Morning and was later replaced by Holly Willoughby in September 2009. On July 17, 2009, Britton presented her final show with a list of friends and celebrities after 10 years of presenting. On April 4, 2011, ITV confirmed that Jenny Falconer and Ruth Langsford would cover for Holly Willoughby, from April 14 for the first 6 weeks of her maternity leave. Langsford presented the first 3 weeks with Falconer the final 3. Jenny Falconer filled in for Holly, on April 12, 2011, as it was announced by Phillip Schofield that Holly may or may not be in labour and was having the day off. Schofield confirmed via Twitter that Willoughby was in labour. Falconer covered the remainder of Willoughby's leave until July 14, 2011. On March 14, 2014, Willoughby announced her 3rd pregnancy. It was later confirmed on July 11, 2014, that Amanda Holden would co-host This Morning with Schofield from September until December 2014 and then from March 2015 onwards, while Christine Bleakley co-hosted the show in January and February 2015 whilst Holden filmed the Britain's Got Talent audition stages. Holden's last show was on July 17, 2015, and during the summer Holmes and Langsford hosted the show, whilst Willoughby returned on September 1, 2015. History. In 1988, ITV decided to create a live daytime morning programme. 4 regional ITV companies made pilot shows to bid for the national contract. Television South offered a show called Home Today, hosted by Andy Craig and Fern Britton. Thames Television, Tyne Tees Television, Granada offered a show called This Morning and was later awarded the national ITV contract. The first episode of This Morning aired at 10:40 am on October 3, 1988 and finished at 12:10 p.m., live from the Granada studio inside the Albert Dock in Liverpool. An industry insider believed the idea would not work and would be pulled by Christmas 1988. Despite This Morning being launched with no publicity, its ratings quickly rose to a daily average of 2 million viewers. The first few series of experts were Weatherman Fred Talbot, Agony Aunt Denise Robertson, Medic Dr. Chris Steele, Cook Susan Brooks, hair and makeup artists Andrew and Liz Colling, and wine expert Charles Metcalf. The theme tune was by David Pringle, who also wrote opening music for Wheel of Fortune, Funhouse and The Pyramid Game. As part of the show, weather presenter Fred Talbot used a floating map of the British Isles to report the forecast. A clip of a streaker running onto Fred Talbot's weather map in 1995 is regularly shown on clip shows. Steve Penk also co-presented with Lucy Meacock covering for Richard and Judy. For the beginning of the autumn 1996 series, the show was relocated to LWT's Television Centre in London, coinciding with a housing relocation for Madeleine Finnegan and to secure even more celebrity guests for the show. In the summer of 2001, Madeleine Finnegan left This Morning to present their own show on Channel 4. 2009 Euro 2015 A relaunch of This Morning took place in 2009 and subsequently, the ratings rose by 20%. Part of the relaunch included a new set and Holly Willoughby became a new co-presenter. In March 2010, This Morning producer Carl Newton announced that the show would air 7 days a week, with 2 new one-hour shows broadcast on Saturdays and Sundays. Schofield and Willoughby presented pre-recorded links in between compilations of the past week's programming. The weekend editions were introduced on March 20, 2010, but have since been dropped from the schedule. The Hub was the interactive part of the show which heavily featured in This Morning from 2010 until 2014. Presenters included Jeff Brazier, Jenny Falconer, Stephen Mulhern, Rylan Clark, Emma Willis, Colleen Nolan, Samantha Jayawardena and Matt Johnson. On March 1, 2010, This Morning began an interactive cooking event, named This Morning Cook-In, where each week, 5 viewers and a celebrity guest cook along, via Skype, with the chefs on the day of the event. Gino D'Acampo and Phil Vickery were the 2 chefs to present the item. The show has proven newsworthy on several occasions. This Morning covered new ground by showing a gay partnership celebration live and 2008 interview with Kerry Katona, slurring her words, also attracted coverage. On August 21, 2013, Carol Vorderman took her first steps towards a 2014 world record attempt by doing a solo flight to 1,000 meters high, live on This Morning. Reporter Jenny Falconer was there. In 2013, This Morning held a competition for one viewer to present the Hub for 1 day in the summer. The winner of the competition was Maddie Moss. In September 2013, at the beginning of the new 25th series, the show had a minor revamp. The opening titles and theme tune were updated and the website had also been given a new makeover. After just 1 year, the new theme was dropped and reverted to the previous. On October 3, 2013, This Morning celebrated its 25th anniversary. The program was broadcast live from its original home at Albert Dock in Liverpool with presenters Phillip Schofield, Eamonn Holmes, Holly Willoughby and Ruth Langsford being joined by original presenters Richard Madeley and Judy Finnegan. Numerous historical clips of the show were aired, including Gene Pitney's infamous miming gaffe from 1989. Keith Lemon presented the weather from the show's infamous floating weather map, while Stephen Mulhern presented various items including the Hub sub. There was much speculation around whether Fern Britton would return for the 25th anniversary. However, it was confirmed 8 days before that she would not. Despite this, Britton did appear in a pre-recorded VT during the show. With the theme tune being updated, This Morning has now had 7 variations of the theme since it began in 1988. 2015 present since January 2015, This Morning has been simulcast in the Republic of Ireland on UTV Ireland. On August 27, 2015, This Morning broadcast the remaining week's shows from the South Bank due to the main studio having a revamp ready for the new series on Tuesday 1st September. The new series had many changes including a brand new set, theme music, titles and the new logo being painted onto the outside of a building. On September 1, 2015, a Labrador Retriever puppy being trained to be a guide dog was added to the program and viewers were given the chance to name her. On September 3, it was announced that the puppy had been named Clover and would stay on the program until she is at least 14 months old, appearing 2 times a week. Studio. Since 1996, This Morning broadcasts live from Studio 8 at the London studios on the South Bank, which features large picture windows looking out over the River Thames. The windows that are seen on screen are real but have a silver coating on the outside to prevent people seeing in and also to prevent glare from the sun. This coating was removed for the new series on September 1, 2015 to coincide with a new set. In February 2015, guest Bear Grylls made his entrance by climbing up a rope and smashing his way through the window. For the rest of the episode, a large wooden board over the broken area. Coinciding with the program's revamp, the outside of the studio was repainted with the new This Morning logo and branding. Awards. References. External links.